I've always wanted to give my dog a house, but obviously it would be crazy for me to buy a house and just give it to my dog. But I've always just had this image in my mind of my dog coming home from a long day's work and just like relaxing on the porch, watching the birds or whatever he likes to do. Now obviously I can't go out and buy him a real house because I can't afford that and I would never see him again because he'd be living in that house. And so I decided to build him this. It's a farmhouse-style doghouse that I hope he likes. My name is Jason and this is Learn, Build, Repeat. Today I'll be walking you through how I built that and all the mistakes I made. Let's get to it. Okay, so here's what was in my head before I started building this doghouse. I wanted to build something in a classic American style because it has those big porches that I thought would be essential for my dog. It also comes with some shiplap walls, some porch pillars, and some planters. I thought that all would kind of come together to make something that would look really good and something that I could modernize with the correct color scheme. I also wanted to add a few finishing touches so it had that homey feel. So with that all out of the way, let's start building. Alright guys, here's a quick mock-up of the frame. I've laid everything out roughly where I want it to go. Next step is to screw and glue all these together. Let's do that now. One down, 11 more to go. Alright guys, I made my first mistake. The trusses aren't all the same height. I guess these were a little bit different. These were a little bit different lengths over here. So I'm gonna have to remake all of these. I definitely learned a lot. I realized that there was a order to the things I need to cut in order to create these trusses. I need to cut the 30-degree angles first before I cut the 60s. So I'm gonna remake all these and then I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, after that mess up, I've remade all the trusses. I made them all together on the same blade at the same angle, so everything's flat here, vertical there. It all should work. And I made 2 more for the front porch as well. So now let's install everything and get all the framing done. Okay, the framing's almost done. Check it out. As you can see, there's a 30-degree slope on the roof. Everything looks pretty good. I've left out the front porch pillars here because I'll be staining those some dark stain, probably like walnut or something like that, like dark walnut. And everything else here is gonna be painted white. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build the 2 components separately so that I can just go back and spray with my sprayer everything here white and then stain that one and not have to worry about like taping anything off. At least that's the hope. And then at the end, I'll just put it all together. I won't be able to do that for everything, but I'm trying to do that as much as possible to make it easier on me. It's actually looking pretty good so far. Kind of impressed. I just made my first pretty big mistake. When I was cutting this piece, I got the angle wrong, and you see this big gap kind of over here. Kind of goes all the way up over here. Got the angle wrong by a couple degrees. Not that big of a deal because I am going to put a piece of trim there along the edges, so you won't be able to see it. You can't see it from the inside, it's not that big, but I just thought I'd show you guys. Let's keep going. Okay, the next step is to finish putting these 2 roof panels on. The problem is that this far angle here, kind of like over here, this area, it's an angle in 2 dimensions, and I'm not sure how to do it. So I think that the first angle, so imagine this is the roof panel here, and it'll have to sit like this, something like this. You're gonna have to cut this at an angle, and I think it's 45-degree angle. I think the distance between there to there and there to there is about the same. So I think that angle there is 45 degree. So I'm just gonna test it. I'm gonna cut 45 degree on this thing and see if it works. Okay, it's pretty close. I don't know. I think I just go for it. Cut a little too big, just go for it. Let's do that. Okay, so round 2, trying to figure out this angle. So I need to figure out this angle here or this angle here. And the way I think I could do that is I take the distance from here to here and here to here. I know that this is 90 degrees, so that I should be able to figure out the other 2 angles. So if I do that, I found that the distance is 17¾ on one side and 18�5/8 on the other. So I just gotta find the 2 inside angles. So to do that, I'm just gonna ask GPT-4 because I'm lazy. So 43.6 and 46.4. So that was close to what I was cutting. I actually cut mine at 45 degrees for both, so it's a little bit off. So I'm gonna recut this piece because I actually cut it too big intentionally for this, and then we'll refit it. All right, let me show you where we're at. I've got all the front details ready to go. I was just about to put on the roof panels. I got one roof there. I got that one. That was like a rough cut, it's not final dimensions. And I was gonna put this on, and I was gonna put that on, and then I was gonna fill these gaps that were kind of showing before somehow. I still have no idea how I'm gonna do that. But then I realized I have this big gap right here. I could probably use this gap, I'm thinking, you know, to put on the shiplap and the front trim. So I want trim around these doors because I want it to look professional. I'm not a professional, but I'm gonna try here. So I've got this shiplap and I got these trim pieces that I'm gonna cut down. So what I'm thinking is, I kind of marked it out here. I don't know if you can see, but there's a line here, right about there. It's kind of faint. Another line here, right here. There we go. And so I'm gonna have they're about 1.5 inches in. I'm gonna have shiplap in between, but I don't want, you know what? I was just about to say I was gonna put like a groove, cut a groove in there and just slide the shiplap in, but honestly, I think I would just rather, yeah, that's a better view. Honestly, I think it'd be better just to keep this flat, nail it on, and then make sure the shiplap is cut perfectly. I do have some caulk, so if I screw things up, I can fill it in with caulk. I might do that anyway, just give it a nice look, but yeah. I'm gonna put the front stuff on first, put the trim on, and then the roof will finish somehow, and then we can paint everything white. Well, I'll take this front part out, paint everything else white. That'll be painted black, and then I'm gonna use these same boards for the flooring. I'll probably just route the edges so, you know, it doesn't hurt my dog. Let's get to it. Okay, this piece was pretty hard to put in. I had to cut out notches on both sides, and then this centerpiece, I almost got it perfect, but there's a little gap right here. I'm just gonna fill that in with some caulk anyway, so it'll look nice. But honestly, not bad. Let's just finish the rest. I've got the front shiplap installed and all the gaps filled with caulk. Take a look. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I also had to remove the front part that was in right here. I actually ended up kind of breaking it a little bit because I kept going in and out of it, but I can just put it back in place. So the next step is I need to finish the roof, finish the front, and then I'm gonna spray paint. No, not spray paint. I'm gonna spray everything with white paint. Let's get to it. So I made a mistake. Let me show you. So right here, right here, where this corner meets, I need to put this trim piece right here, essentially. But you can see that because these two corner pieces right here and here don't meet, when I put the trim piece here, it's not gonna meet either. So, I don't know, frankly, I'm not sure how I could have built this differently, but I know that this piece here, this corner needed to come all the way down and meet here to have a consistent trim line all the way across it. So yeah, kind of messed it up. Mistakes happen, I guess. I am not rebuilding this entire doghouse because of that, because I've been working on it for like 40 hours so far. The next one, I'll make sure I do that a little bit better. For now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the trim piece here and then maybe like trim it such that the lines meet a little bit better. Or not, we'll see how it goes. Let's keep going. Oh, by the way, I put a furniture dolly under there so everything moves a lot easier. So much better. The shop is way too crowded. That side hangs over, I think. So this corner is the tricky corner. what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on the 30-degree slope first, something like this. So I've cut it out, like you see here, somehow. That'll just slide there. And then this guy, because this is just a straight up and down, it's a lot easier to cut this parallel. So I'll just slide it in there like that, somehow, I think. All right, I'm almost ready for painting. I've got all of the drip edge on. Let me show you. Definitely not a professional at this, but I did my best. I had to make a lot of seams, which I really don't like because I feel like they might catch on your hand and like cut you a little bit. But everything's done, thank God. There's a lot more in this thing than I ever anticipated. And now it's time for paint. I've already taped up what I want, I've already taped up what I don't want to paint. That's gonna be stained, this front part of it. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna set up those drop cloths over there and then get my sprayer out and just spray the whole goddamn thing. Let's get to it. So for the floors and for this first piece right here, that's bare wood, everything's gonna be stained black with this general finish wood stain. This stuff is so dark, it's almost like paint. Honestly, if I had known it was gonna be this dark, I probably would have just used paint. Alright, I just got home from work and I'm gonna finish up the flooring. I have to like crawl in there, which is like super freaking tight. So let me show you what it looks like. And I got the last board right here. See, look at this. That's the flooring. It'll all be stained black. My plan was to originally stain everything outside of it and then put it in, but honestly I just said, to hell with it, let's put the floor in and we'll stain it after. There it is, not gonna paint here, don't worry about it. It's a doghouse. Hope you guys enjoy this. Don't forget to like and subscribe, eh? Okay, I finished the flooring. I've stained everything black, as you can see from the last little clip I showed. Everything was just pine, but I've gone through everything, and I got the final colors all done. See, black and white and whatnot. I also put a coat of polyurethane on it too to seal it. So that's why it's a little bit shinier. So next step is to do the shingles. All right, I've got flat shingles there, and I have no idea how I'm gonna do this. I looked at a YouTube video for like 5 minutes, because that's kind of how I do things. I know I have to do the starter, and I know I have to do the caps, and I know I need to start at the bottom and work my way up. So I'm just gonna go for it. And you guys can watch. We're getting close. The roof is done. I'm gonna show you that in a moment. I also bought another thing of shingles, but it turns out one bundle was exactly enough to actually do the whole roof, like down to the last shingle. So for one of the last finishing touches on the doghouse, I'm gonna add these patio lights or lanterns or whatever the hell these are called. And I'm gonna stick 2 of them, one right there and one on the other side. So it should look nice and homey. So with that, I think we're almost done. Like, there's not much else to do, I don't think. Maybe give it another coat of polyurethane, but I'm gonna add these and then we're gonna do a big reveal. Stay tuned. All right, I've just moved it out here to the front sidewalk. I'm not gonna leave it here long term, but I don't want to put it in the grass like I originally planned because I don't think I can get that off by myself. This way I can just tip it back up onto the furniture dolly and move it. However, this is a great place to show how Tito reacts to it. So let's get my dog out here, see how he does.